Well, it's official. That feeling that you get when you purchase something, i.e. $10,000 mower, and it cuts like shit, really makes you feel crappy. Really makes you feel like shit. What I was going to do, you're asking why there's a bunch of weights in there. I was simulating me sitting in there. And of course I set the tire PSI and was going to level the deck again, just in case I missed it the first time. But I figured I would pull the whole thing out. Figured I'd pull the whole thing out and see if I could find out what was wrong with this. I'll include some video snippets here of playing around with the blades and stuff, but I think it might be bent, but if it is, it's not bent very bad, but it's just enough to make it really suck. I mean, any combination of blades with the mulch kit on, there's the mulch kit baffles, and here's the 3 types of blades. You can use any one of these blades with those mulch baffles installed and this thing sucks. So that's the top one is the OEM blade that came with the mower, and then the one below that is the one included with the Hustler mulch kit. And of course that is a copperhead made by Rotary, and it's pretty much the same as an Oregon gator blade, which you all are familiar with. But anywho, it just really sucks. I've reached out to the dealer twice now. I haven't received anything back from them. Hustler says they're not going to do anything until they get word from the dealer. So, I mean, I'm just left here with my tail between my legs with a $10,000 mower that doesn't mow any. I mean, it mows worse than the Skag, and you know I hate Skag. I've had problems with my damn Skags, and I bought this thing because it was the cat's ass at the time. It just made sense. It was a Skag replacement. Watch my previous videos, and it explained why I bought this. So yeah, I feel like shit now that I've got this $10,000 mower here, and it's sitting in pieces on my garage floor while I freaking wait and twiddle my thumbs for the dealer to respond. I'm going to have to drive this thing an hour and a half over there just to drop it off, and it'll probably sit for a week before we find out what's going to happen next. At this point, I just want to sell the damn thing. But I can't sell the thing because I know it's screwed up. It's a screwed up mower. Somewhere, somehow, something is screwed up. It doesn't cut right. I'm not going to let this thing go. I won't even sell this to some schmuck on Craigslist. I don't work that way. That's not me. It's not how I roll. But this thing needs to be fixed. Something's not right. If this is the quality that Hustler puts out, I'm sorry. Yeah, I screwed up. And I should just dump it, get rid of it. Maybe the dealer will buy it back. I don't know. I doubt it at this point. Something's definitely not right here. Anyways, there's a quick update, guys. Just feel like absolute shit. After this, if I get rid of this thing, I might just hire a lawn service at this point. Or just use my neighbor's Cub Cadet because it sure mows better and faster than this. Alright, forgive my feet. We're on a wide angle here so you can see the whole deck. And it's just resting on edge on the back. And you can see the bolts that are holding the blades in are level with the bottom. And I'm going to move forward. I'm closing the gap on the left side right there. On the left side we're pretty much touching, and on the right side we're still open. In other words, let me see if I can explain it a different way. Look at the left hand side of the deck. You see the bolt that's holding the blade? I'll point towards it right there. So watch that bolt. I'm going to move the camera forward slowly till that bolt disappears, right? Boom, right there, right there. Now look on the right side. It's hard to keep this still. The bolt, when that bolt disappears on the left side like that, you can still see it on the right side. Well, I went too far. Let me come back. Right about there. See that bolt? You can see a slither of this bolt. And over here you can see the whole bolt. And you can even see the gap. Nothing here, and then it's hard to hold this steady. I wish I had a tripod. But if I hold it like right there, I mean, just look at it. It's no gap here, and it just slowly opens up over there. See? I think this deck is warped, and that's just enough to open up a gap on one side, and maybe this side. I noticed one side, if you look at my previous videos, one side, I think it's the left side when I mow, there's always more stragglers, it's thicker, and then there's still some on the right side, but they're less. So I'm still measuring here, but I just saw this and I figured I'd catch it while it was still fresh on the brain. So let's keep investigating here. I don't think that's enough to complain about. But I don't think that's what's causing the issue. I mean, that's so small of a gap. That is so small of a gap. I don't think that's what's causing the issue here. Let's check the other side. All right. Just don't think that this is the problem. This side is a little worse off, if you ask me, on the height. I mean, but that's not enough. I just don't think that's enough. I'll show you what I did. Lined it up and just scored it like that. And you can see the distance is from there to there and there to there. It looks okay, right? Now onto this guy. You can see the distance from there to there. And as you come over here, it's, well, we can measure it, but don't really have much to measure it with, but the hole in the bottom of the blade is on the line. And over here, it's way below. So this one, this line, as you follow it around, you zoom out so you can zoom out so maybe you can see both sides at the same time. There you go. So it's obvious right there. And I did both sides of the blade, so but this is kind of questioning how it's thicker over here and it gets thin. I don't know. I put this thing on the ground, of course, you know, it rests on all three of these bolts that hold the blades in, stick out higher than the edge of the deck, so it'll rest on the ground and it seems like it's fine. They're all flat, you know, it's like a tripod, 3 points. It seems flat, but I don't know. What do you guys think? So the spindle is that way, and when I look at the spindle, there's no play in the bearings. I mean, they all spin freely, no noise. I say that, hold on, it's hard to give equal pressure, but this one seems to be, I don't know, binding up, less free. Let's try it the other way, that'll be the test, right? So let's spin it that way, that way, that way. Ha! This one stopped. This was the last to spin, and that was, and then that one, and then this one. Interesting, huh? So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Let me try something else here. My highly calibrated tools here. I place in a piece of wood between these two and those two, and as you can see here, very, very tiny, tiny, tiny gap. But on this side, well, I don't know what to do, how else to measure this thing. Using my eyeballs here, it seems to be off, but I have no way to measure this. And all I'm looking at is basically the bolts that secure the blades into the spindles. There, and there. So what I'm going to do is just come over here, use the edge of the mower here, and see the bottom one disappear, and then you can still see, in other words, this one's disappearing, and you can still see this one. And if I move up to try and get them all in the shot, which might be difficult to do here. And let's see, come over here, bottom one disappears, and let's see, it's a race, who's going to disappear? The middle one, the top one's still there. So it seems like this thing is, I don't know, twisted just enough. Otherwise, I mean, these are close. Like I said, I just don't know what else is going on with this deck.